Welcome to the Roadmap to Retirement podcast. My name is Alex Neary. I'm excited to be joined by Jenna this week. Jenna, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Welcome to Roadmap to Retirement. Tune in for financial tips, investment strategies, and smart money moves to supercharge your retirement savings. Alex Neary, CFP, and guests are here to help you build your roadmap to retirement.
Thanks, Alex, for having me. My name is Jenna D'Annunzio, and I am a holistic business and mindset coach. I am the co-owner of Mission Driven Advisor and Soul Purpose Institute, which are two coaching companies that work exclusively with either the financial advisor within the financial services industry and or any other small to medium-sized business owner, entrepreneur in the public and private sector.
Okay, great. Tell me more about how you got started in this, or what drew you to this industry?
I am very blessed and grateful to say that I am a second generation entrepreneur. So I would say, I feel like I've been saying 25 years ago for a while now. So between 25 to 30 years ago, my father started Soul Purpose Institute, which, like, as I said, is a coaching company that works with small to medium-sized business owners. He was inspired by my uncle, who actually he's down in the New York City area. And with his help and support, he was gravitated to the financial services industry. So he then created a second company called Mission Driven Advisor. So essentially, I grew up with these life success production principles that we really support our clients in learning and applying, so that at the end of the day, they feel really equipped and good about building a life and a business that they love.
I don't know if I asked you that before we started recording, so that was news to me also. So that's cool to
Oh, great.
learn about a little. Yeah, so we're
You're already learning something new.
Yes, perfect. So the reason we wanted to have you onto the podcast is we talked a little bit before about the term money mindset, which might be a new term for some of our listeners. So maybe we should start by defining it. But I thought we would dive into that today. So yeah, I guess to kick us off, what does money mindset mean to you, and how can we think about that term?
So essentially, mindset is just a set of beliefs that shape how we perceive ourselves or how we perceive the world around us. So when we're taking that concept of money mindset, we're really looking at what are our belief systems and how do we perceive money to us, but also what is our relationship with money? And how does that affect how we're showing up in the world and in our business? It's to give you a little bit of context within my coaching company. A lot of what I work with, not only just my financial advisors, but my business owners, what is their relationship to money? Not only what do they want, but why do they want it? And what does that mean for them? We really get down to the nitty gritty of what are their set of belief systems around money. What is their relationship to it?
Sure. And I think most of our listeners probably aren't in the financial advisor space. They don't do what I do. So broadly speaking, for business owners, or maybe even people that aspire to start a business somehow, I think one of the things that we see on our end is a lot of times these sort of responsible money habits that we're all taught at a young age go out the window for a lot of business owners, because they're so focused on growing this business that in their mind, maybe rightfully so, is going to be like their main asset someday that they get to sell and monetize. So simple things like saving into a 401k or Roth IRAs, or all the things that people should be doing, get put on the back burner. And now all of a sudden we're not doing those things. So one of our challenges, or one of my challenges as a financial advisor, is getting them to see the whole picture and appreciating the value in saving money elsewhere, whether it's because maybe their business isn't going to be worth what they think it is when they go to retire, or maybe it will be worth a certain amount, but they also need some liquidity. So there's a lot of reasons to save the traditional way, even for business owners. I'm rambling a bit, but what has your experience been around that?
So as a business owner, we tend to live into this one-track mind, because this is exactly what we're really good at. We hone in on our passions, right? A lot of times passion projects become actual businesses. I am passionate about supporting people through the coaching avenue, helping them to understand that they're a whole person showing up as it in their human experience, and how to help grow their business. But when it comes to my own personal business and finances and all that good stuff, all that jazz, that's not my sole purpose. That's not my expertise or my mastery. That's why I recognize how important it is to hire a coach. I look at you and I, Alex, and we're no different. We just coach people on different things. You are a financial coach. So it's important to recognize as the business owner what your core competencies are and what it really takes to take that business to the next level and see all of those different avenues from a 30,000-foot view. And it's making sure that you have the right team that's got your back no matter what in all aspects of the business. And that is the financial aspect as well, not just from a business perspective, but from a personal perspective.
Sure. Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. I think what you touched on originally was talking about how a lot of business owners get into it because it's a passion project. They have a hobby or they have a skill and they start just doing that skill because they love doing it.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, they realize they can make a living doing that skill. And then they back into all of a sudden they're a business owner and they've got to figure out everything else. So
Yeah.
having somebody who can be a resource from a coaching perspective or a mentorship perspective is extremely valuable. And I bet, you can tell me if this is true or not, but I bet a lot of people are hesitant to hire a coach originally because they feel like it's going to cost me money and it's hard to see the value in it until you actually experience it. Do you
Mm.
find it difficult at all to communicate the value ahead of time?
Yes and no. Yes, because we have no idea how somebody's going to show up and the story that they've told themselves about us in that first initial conversation, right? People might think that I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when I talk about beliefs drive behaviors and behaviors drive results. They're like, wait, what is she talking about? And there's also that the business owner who's really committed, who gets it, who sees that, look, I'm really good at this one particular thing, and I'm not so great over here. But I know that there are people who are. And when you come with that right money mindset, that right set of belief systems to recognize that having a coach and having support is not an expense, it's
Mhm.
an investment in you and your practice.
It's so hard to wrap your head around what that right money mindset is. And I think most people you're talking to probably they want to believe they have the right mindset, but there's something there that they're not quite grasping. What
Mhm.
are a few signs that you would point to as a signal that somebody has it figured out, if they can ever truly have it figured out? But like three
Yeah.
signs that you have the right money mindset.
So, first is they come to a conversation and they say, "This is what it means financial success means to me. This is what I want. This is the definition of financial success." It might mean X amount of dollars in the bank. It might mean X amount of income on an annual basis. It may mean I want to be able to travel the world, backpack Europe for a month, a year, and not have to worry about money at all, right? Whatever that means for them. Then they tell me why they want it. So not only what they want, but then they tell me why. And they recognize that their own unique mindset and journey is their own, not comparing to the Alexes of the world or the Janes of the world or the Joes of the world, but this is what it means for me. And recognizing that, okay, here's what I know and here's what I don't know. They have awareness around what they know and what they don't know, but a willingness to figure it out.
Mhm.
That willingness, that awareness and that willingness to get support and to get help into achieving that financial successful goal, that's a zing, they get it.
That's the moment.
That's the moment. That's the
Love it.
aha moment.
I think even just starting with the goal setting, I think if you talk to a lot of people off the street and say, "What's your goal right now in life?" You'll get a lot of blank looks back. People don't think like that. But as a
Mhm.
business owner, it becomes especially important to know what you're driving for. Because you might
Yeah.
have a business and the goal is to support you and your family having a simple life, or you might have a goal of scaling this business to be an empire. And
Mm.
depending on what your goal is, the approach is totally different, especially around money and how you structure
Yeah.
your business and everything else.
Subjective, right? Financial success or success in general is completely subjective. What's successful to me, you may not care about. It's very showing up and having that understanding of what that financial success looks like, the why, the driving force behind it, really being intentionally aware, and then having that willingness and commitment to invest in yourself.
Yeah, this
Not,
conversation get very cliche, but it's the whole I don't compare yourself to other people, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And I know it
yeah,
sounds a little cheesy, but it's true. If you're comparing yourself to other people or other business owners, it's hard, but I think it's about making continuous progress forward, which is
yeah.
important.
Absolutely. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? That's what Teddy Roosevelt, even though I'm pretty sure it was his wife, had said that. And so you want to focus on your own standards. You really want to focus on what your hopes and your definition of success looks like. When you fall into that trap of comparing to others, it is a messy one to get out of.
Certainly is. And one even messier trap is you're naturally inclined to compare yourself to others. And it's easy to sit here and say, I can't worry about them. I have to focus on me. What
Mhm.
happens if you have a business partner, or maybe it's your spouse at home, or somebody that you need to be on the same page with, and they don't have the same mindset that you do? You must run into that all the time in your business. But what are some helpful tips that people can take away from that?
Yeah. From a communication standpoint, it's really everything. Are we having the intentional dialogues with our team, with our business partners, with our spouses? Do we know what their definition of success is? Are we really clear? I have so many, even husbands and wives, that they've never actually sat down and had a clear conversation around what financial success means to them.
That's
They
one of
think
the
they know, but they don't, right?
I know, yeah, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about doing what I do is it took me a while in my career to realize this, but a lot of times when I'm sitting in a room with a husband and wife or whoever, and we're talking about their finances, and we do it twice a year, we do 2 annual review meetings, and I could realize that when they are in my office talking to me, that's probably the only time all year that they're actually talking about finances,
Mhm.
which in my world, it's like everything I do. So I'm always thinking about this stuff. But even if it's meeting with a professional that's going to force you to have the conversation with you and your spouse, I think that's hugely valuable. And then hopefully after the meeting, we take something away from that, but then they go home and continue the conversation. And maybe that changes their relationship with money and they can be on the same page. And who knows? Maybe I'm saving marriages. I like to think I am.
I think you are.
I
I
think
do.
I think so.
I think you are saving marriages, but I think you're also giving people permission to have a really difficult conversation. Money is the most crucial conversation that people have. It really is. If you and any statistic, they will show you the most difficult conversation that any one person has with another individual, regardless of what their relationship or role in their life is. Money is the toughest conversation for people to have.
Yeah.
And the advisor gives families permission to have that conversation. Now, what they do with that permission is on them. However, when you have, going back to your question, when you have, let's say, a business partner that maybe they were in alignment with what financial success looked like to them and they're no longer in alignment, I think the biggest and most important thing that you can do is really focus on what both of those ideologies and thoughts look like. And then are we able to agree to disagree? How severe is these two opposing ideologies? More times than not, it's not that severe. When we can really dissect what's going on and what happened for somebody to shift, then we can really uncover, okay, we can fix this.
Mhm.
This is manageable. This is why I say beliefs drive behaviors, drive results.
Starts with the belief, and you see this in business relationships. You'll see it with marital relationships. Maybe is you can have one person that's very content with, we have everything we need in life right now.
Mhm.
I'm fine living. We'll call it like that middle class lifestyle. And you might have this spouse that's like very motivated to drive and get more. Just like a business, two business partners might say, "Hey, our business is good. We're doing fine." Where the other one really wants to scale it and grow it and open new locations and go international, whatever the stuff is. So it's hard to, who's wrong in that situation. It might be,
Not
you
neither.
know, there's not a wrong answer. So sometimes it just might be different visions and deciding whether or not those visions can coexist. And if they can't coexist, especially in the business world, it might make sense to move on and go your own way.
Which is okay too, right? We're all out to change our mind. The business owner that I started off as almost 10 years ago is certainly not the same business owner that I am today. And so I have a great respect for people who share their visions, are intentionally clear with their partners on what next steps look like. And I think maintaining that dialogue, not losing sight of it, but maintaining that dialogue with your business partner and even your spouse is critical.
Yeah. It's hard to know. So what's next for your business? I know, hold on. You wrote a book, right? Let's talk about your book for a minute.
Yes. So a couple months ago, I was ironically enough looking through my spam folder and I had gotten an email and and somebody asked if I responded. And I said, "Oh, no, let me check my spam." And I checked my spam, and I had been reached out to by Jim Britt's marketing team. So, Jim Britt is one of the top 20 success coaches really in the country. He coached Tony Robbins' coach, just to give you a little. I know it's really amazingly crazy to wrap my brain around. Jim had mentioned that he had noticed me on LinkedIn and he thought that I may be interested in being a featured co author to his international best-selling book series, Cracking the Rich Code.
Nice.
So, yes. So I was all nervous because I had received the email like a week prior and didn't know. And so I reached out and spoke with Jim and we talked on the phone for an hour and a half, and really the rest is history. So
Very cool.
super excited. Yes. Called Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 15. The Kindle version will be out any day now. And I'm super excited. It's 20 thought leaders that he brings together from all over the world to really uncover and talk about what it means to be rich. And rich is multidimensional, rich in health, rich in wealth, rich in relationships, rich in business, rich in life. It's an amazing opportunity, and I'm super grateful.
Very cool. I would like a, signed copy, please.
Okay.
And I'll
I'm
be one
happy
your
to
first
provide
reader.
that for you.
Awesome. The signature of the book. Do I got to buy the book first?
I'll get both.
Okay. You need the book.
It'll be a
reference.
holiday.
Sales. I'll buy a
It'll be
book.
a holiday present.
I'll buy a book for it. I just need to sign it. Very
Okay.
cool. That's exciting. I think it sounds like an interesting thing to be a part of. I don't want to brag. I don't want to
Please
one up
brag.
you here,
Nope.
but I actually have 2 pages of a book written, and my goal is to write 2 pages every day. The problem with my goal is I haven't written a page in about 4 months. So
You need an accountability partner.
I'm a failure. That's what it comes down to is I can't do it. I'm not very good at it. And
Excuse me, mindset?
sorry. Yeah. I'll
Yep.
work on it.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, look for that.
Well, congratulations on get here. You know what? Get in a flow state. You know what I mean by a flow state?
Sure.
Do you?
I've heard of flow state. So it's like a hyper focus. You block everything else out. My phone's in a different room, hopefully.
What does a flow state mean to you? I know a flow state for me was just enhancing my senses. I'm a music girl. I put an instrumental, some of my favorite songs on. I bought this cute little candle on Amazon that says smells like she's writing a bestseller. Because why not? And I love candle and sparkly lights and music. So find what a flow state means to you and be really intentional with creating a milieu for yourself that helps support that flow state. That's
Okay.
my tip to you.
Flow state. I think I need to say no to more stuff. I say yes to too many things and my calendar gets very crowded. That's a
You-
different topic though.
Yes, we can touch on that another time.
Yeah, let's not record that. I don't want to record all my shame. But cool. Okay, this conversation took a different turn. Now we're focused on this. But what else do we want to talk about today? We covered mindset. We talked about business relationships, personal relationships.
Yeah.
Covered your book, which is exciting. I hope to have that soon.
Yes, absolutely. You tell me. I feel good about what we chatted about. Do you feel like this is a good?
I think we did it. The
Awesome.
listeners are excited. They're probably ready for me to wrap it up. So we'll do that now. Jenna, thank you for being here. This has been the Roadmap to Retirement podcast, and we will cut it there.
Bye. Thank you.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. This commentary reflects the personal opinions, viewpoints, and analyses of Alexander Neri. It does not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, their clients, or their employees. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by Alexander Neri or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. Alexander Neri and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.